Welcome back. This journal that I'm showing today is blues and greens and lovely Tim Holtz fabric. If you've watched any other of my videos, you know I really love Tim Holtz fabric. And this is the rulers, and I just thought it would look so pretty on the spine. The stitches almost blend in. This is a 3 signature fabric journal with heavy duty Peltex on the inside, but it's still, you know, it's not super stiff. Then I have hand-dyed fabrics on the inside here. Basically I'll film a video on how I do this. This is really fun. It's a fun technique, and it's really easy to get a lot of fabric done very quickly. But yeah, this is my fun fabric. This is there's some fabric from Mood in New York. This I collected on my travels. I love stopping in little independent fabric stores when I'm on my vacations. And this is vintage. So this journal has coffee dyed and India ink on that. An old book page that I chose because it has a scripture. Some scrapbook paper. 1980s ledger paper, books from the 60s, scrapbook paper, more Tim Holtz fabric sewed onto a page, pocket with a tag that was created from a master board. Created a bunch of those because I work in series. This was number 3 in the series. This is some really pretty printed vellum. More vintage books. I love coffee dyeing graph paper because look at the color. It's gorgeous. Green, and then it I actually sprayed it with some acrylic shimmer spray while it was wet to get that mottled effect. And there's beautiful vellum. This vellum was half one print and half the other. So when I folded it, it folded perfectly. I love vintage dictionaries, some collage fodder, and journal cards. Let's just keep flipping. On the back side of the signature. The next signature, this signature was actually coffee dyed, sprayed with acrylic sprays. There's some shimmer on it. I don't know if you can see that. And some Tim Holtz Distressed Oxide. So I sprayed it on one side, but look how beautiful that oxide comes through. Another book page with scripture. Pocket with more collage fodder, and the rest of that beautiful vellum. Onion skin paper. When I work in these series, I create all my sewn pages first. Like, I just take a whole bunch of pages, get my sewing machine out, grab my little bowl of fabric scraps, and which I actually have a bigger bowl than this, because this one is like, yeah, this one's not that big, but I do have a really big bowl. And I just go to town making tons of tabbed pages, so that when I get ready to put these books together, I have a bunch of elements to pick from to make my signatures. This one has a watercolor ink while I was coffee dyeing. It basically just drops down on top of the paper because I make stacks and stacks and stacks of coffee dyed paper, and then because my studio is upstairs, I have to go down to the kitchen to bake them. So yeah. So I always make stacks of it at once. Vintage book page scraps sewed on. More of that acrylic ink. Watercolor ink. Yeah, take the scraps from a book page, sew it onto another book page. Makes it look interesting. More collage fodder. These are the pieces like I sewed here. Instead of throwing those little pieces away, they make great collage fodder. Third signature, India ink and coffee dyed. with some of that watercolor because it's probably near that paper. A vintage crochet book. This is the onion skin paper. And yes, this pocket is upside down. At least that's what it looks like, but I like tucking them up. Gave me a cute little tuck point. This came off of some packaging. I just thought it was too pretty to throw away. So I punched circles out of it. Some days I sit and make painted papers with just swipes of paint on it like you saw on the ledger paper here. There's another one of the scripture pages. Swipes of paint. And this is a piece of chipboard that I painted on the back. Fabric. So all the journals are fun. They're all different techniques that I've done. That, you know, it's like, okay, I took this class, I took that class, I took another class, and it's like I mishmash them all together. Like, see, here's, okay, this is part of that acrylic paint dyeing fabric, and this is a wood laser cut that, so when I'm painting my big paintings, I always keep fabric around it and I always have it wet. So when I wipe it off, that's part of the way I get a lot of this. And the cross was on a big painting I was working on, and I just laid it on top of the wet fabric and it just, you know, did that. So here's the green journal. Hope you enjoyed it and hope you learned something. Have a good day.